Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of 15-Minute Builds. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be building a simple starter house, and it's not going to be about the house itself that we're going to be building, but this video is going to be more about the idea and the methodology of how to build a house, the thought process that goes into it, and so in other words, what I'm saying is, this video, sure, you may learn how to build the specific house that I'm building, but what I'm hoping is that you'll be able to take away how to build your own starter house that looks nothing like the one that I'm about to build. I've been asked several times, those of you who've seen some of my Let's Play series, like Hermitcraft or some of the other servers that I play on, I always seem to pop out a house on the first day, and some people have asked me, how do you pop out a starter house like that on the very first day? And this is how. I will show you. So let's go ahead and get to building. I'm going to put 15 minutes on the clock starting right now. So the first thing that we want to do is just kind of lay out a little bit of a basic shape. And I'm just going to use oak, spruce, and cobblestone for this because they're materials that you should be able to get on the first day, but the materials here do not really matter. So what I like to do is start by building a box, and I always go odd numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, for example. Let's actually go 9. And let's make it 9 by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is kind of our base shape, right? We've got our oak 9 by 7 box. However, boxes are boring, so we're not going to do a box. Instead, we'll take out this little chunk here, and notice this was 5, because we want, remember, odd numbers. Odd numbers are your friend when you're building. And we'll go here, and we'll just bring this out like 2 blocks, right? Not an odd number, but it's okay, because this is not an odd number. Wow, I can't count. There we go. So we've got like a little 5 shape here, and then over here we've got another shape with 5 in the middle. The big point, the reason we're using odd numbers is because we want to have a center point in each of these. So then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and bring this up an additional 4. Actually, we're going to go 5 high. And the reason we're going 5 is because we want 2 high windows and because we want a overhang on the roof. So you'll see what I mean in just a second here. And as for the shape, it doesn't have to be this L shape. It can be a plus. It can be shaped like a plus sign. It can be, shaped like a T. It doesn't matter the shape, just don't do just a box, because boxes are boring. So there we go. We've got 5 high. Our door, I think, is going to go right here. Actually, you know what? Let's put the door over here instead. We'll say this is our door, and we can maybe even do a double door. That doesn't look very good. We'll do it like that. That's fine. And then here, that gives us room for like a nice big picture window, right? Which I think looks pretty good. And you know what? I just realized. I'm just looking at this. If we put this up here. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And then let's knock out some spots here for windows. I'm kind of thinking that this part might need to come down a little bit. I'm not liking the way that this is looking. I think this is too... Actually, you know what we could do instead? Here's a thought. Let's make a balcony, or like a little deck area right here. So we'll just make a very simple deck, and we'll do like a stair here, and here, and then like that. And that gives us a super simple little porch type thing. And then we're going to put the floor in here as spruce, because another tip is we don't want our walls and our floor to be the same color. That's not good. Also, if you're building in survival, slabs work wonderfully because you save on resources. So let's actually bring these up, and let's do this. So we'll have higher windows up here. This will be a big picture window. And then the roof will kind of come out like that. And then on this side, we'll bring our roof over. And we'll bring out a little bit of an overhang. Now, you want to think about your roof when you're building the rest of the house. That's very, very important. Think about the roof before you do just about anything else. Another thing to think about, I've found that if you do have an L-shaped house where they come to a point, it's almost always best to have like a kind of triangular type thing. I don't really know how to explain that, but you'll see what I mean in a minute here. So here, and we'll just keep the roof real simple and just do a stair walk up like this. And there we go. So that comes up to a point like this. I don't really like that very much, but what went wrong? Oh, I see. Okay, there's our problem. This actually needs to go there. I was wondering why that didn't come to an odd single block point, and now I see. This is why we do odd numbers, because then it comes to a single block for the point, which means you can make the roof look a little bit better, I think. Because I like to kind of cap it off with a stair like that. So we get something kind of going like this, and then here we do something very similar. Oop. And there we go. So you can, and then this roof section will intersect with this other one, which will look pretty good. And then let's kind of come up over here. And basically, I always say outline the roof. Always outline the roof before you start building the roof as a whole, and that way you have an idea of how it's going to look. So there we go. We've got kind of this shape like this. This back section will all be combined into one, and it will all be lovely. Okay, so over here, we've got kind of this nice big area, and we're going to knock out windows here as well, like that. This little section I'm just going to leave alone, this little wall right here. And then over here, we'll knock out 3 windows, or maybe we'll do 3 little small windows like that. I think that'll be fine. There's some things about this house that I don't really like already, but that's okay. It is a starter house after all, so you can always clean it up later. There we go. And then these areas behind the stairs, we're just going to fill them in. So it'll look something like that. Okay, now, roof itself. Also, another thing we want to do is grab ourselves some oak stairs. And these areas where the windows are, we want to put stairs underneath them. And up above them. And that just gives us a little bit of depth and makes the window look better. So it's just a very simple little tip to help make your house look better. There we go. And we can do something similar here. That looks pretty good. There, and there. Okay, so windows are all good. And then instead of using glass blocks, always use glass panes for your windows. They just look a million times better than they look way better. Yeah, actually, we'll stick with glass panes because I prefer to use stained glass, like white stained glass for my windows, but you may not be able to have that on the very first day. And this is supposed to be a house that you can just kind of spit out on your first day playing in a world. So we're good there. Let's just put a door on here. We'll use spruce. Also, put your door inside on the inner half of the block over here because it gives us a little bit more depth outside. All right, so there's that part basically taken care of. We're at about 8 minutes, and really all we have left to do is the roof. So there's a few things here that we can do with our roof to make it look a little bit better, if I can place these properly. There we go. So we want to connect these roof shapes up, right? And you can see right here is not going to match up. So we'll just take slabs and kind of bring that across, and then it will look nice, just like that. We'll do the same over here. And there as well. And then over here, we'll do this and just bring this across to match the other side as well. And before, when I was talking about always framing out the roof first, this is why you do that. It makes things infinitely easier if you kind of frame out the roof. Okay, so we've got this going, and it looks okay. It's not terrible. We are going to go in here, I think, and put in some spruce logs in the corner. Like so. And we'll do the same right here. And over here. And right here. And that'll just give us a little bit of contrast, make it look a little bit nicer. I think, maybe a little bit too much contrast. Probably would have looked better if I'd stuck with oak logs, but that's okay. It's fine. All right. So inside, what do we need in every survival starter house? Well, we're definitely going to need a furnace, a crafting table, a chest. We'll need some torches, and we'll need a bed. So we'll put our bed over here. We'll put a couple furnaces here and a crafting table, and then a chest right here or something. It doesn't really matter. I'll put a torch here and here. My shaders are making this super, super dark, but that's okay. There we go. So that looks good. Now this looks terrible, on the other hand, this section up here. So we're going to do something about this. And one of the easiest ways to make your inner roof look good is to just take some logs, find kind of the point where everything intersects, and like right about here or so, or maybe even, I think I'm actually going to bring that down even one more. We'll bring it down to like right here. We'll do something like that, and then we'll make another log intersect with it like that. And then we'll grab some spruce slabs, and we'll just fill those in the upper half of this block. And that'll cover up, that'll basically hide all this ugly roof business. Everything up here. And we can put some torches up there to prevent mobs from spawning. Now, is it practical? Not really, but it looks way better than seeing all that ugly roof stuff. You can also, if you'd like, put a log right here just to kind of make the house look a little bit more interesting on the inside too, and that's also not necessarily a bad idea. Now, the roof itself looks a little bit boring, so let's grab some cobblestone and some stairs. I think in the corners here, I'm going to add these little kind of cobblestone support feet, almost, I guess we'd call them, around that. And something like that doesn't look horrible. Not really a fan of this, but that's okay. We can maybe grab some oak fences. Do we not have oak fences? Here we go. And maybe we just kind of bring those out here to kind of cover up our... I think that would look better with spruce. Yep, that looks much better. So we do something like that. Now, as I was saying, roof. One thing we can do is outline the roof in cobblestone. So instead of having the spruce roof, we'll replace all of this with cobblestone instead. Personally, I probably should have done this to begin with when I was outlining the roof initially, but I didn't think about it at the time, which was kind of silly of me, because now I need to go back and redo all of this, but that's okay. It's fine. As I said, it's about the methodology. This is not about this specific house. This is me saying, here are things you can do to kind of, you know, plan out a starter house and make it seem, make it look better than a dirt hut. I think I can honestly say that in all the times that I've been playing Minecraft, I don't think I've ever built a dirt hut. I think I've done a hidey hole a couple times, but that's pretty much the worst that I've done. Everything else has been a starter house. Not necessarily a beautiful, wonderful starter house, but a house. And something significantly more impressive than a simple dirt hut. So there we go. That one goes there, that one goes here, and we're just outlining the roof because it'll make the roof look a bit better. You can see that definitely looks better. The other thing we could potentially do is run cobblestone like that, turn that one into cobblestone, and then run cobblestone across the top as well. This is up to you. If you think this looks better, go for it. I think it would also look a little better if that was a full block. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then last but not least, I'm just going to grab a shovel, and we'll just kind of make a little pathway that leads up to it, and grab some bone meal, and just kind of bone meal around it. And over here as well, and behind. And there we go. We've got ourselves a very simple, very easy little starter house. I am going to call this build done at 14 minutes and 56 seconds. So there you have it. Let's recap, though, because some of this stuff might not have been exactly obvious. So first and foremost, when you're planning out your house, build a box, and then change it to be not a box. So this, we started off with a box, and then we added a little T, or a little L-shaped wing that kind of sticks out and makes it look nicer. If you look at this house, we have a box, and then we have two more boxes that connect to it. We've got our main box right here, and then we have another box and another box, creating depth. This one, same thing. We've got a box and something that sticks out. You can see this with pretty much all of my builds, and this is a relatively new creative world, so I don't have a ton of examples, but boxes. Make a box and then change it to be something other than a box. And if you get that right, the house will look interesting. That's like the single most important thing, is the shape of the build. Then mix up your textures. Don't just use one texture for everything. So here we've got walls made of oak. We've got some pillars of spruce in the middle. Our floor and ceiling and roof are made of spruce planks. We've got a cobblestone outline to create contrast and really kind of highlight the roof. When you do your windows, use glass panes. It creates depth. Depth is important. Add these little stairs. Great for starter houses. Also creates depth. And that's pretty much it, you know? And the rest of it is up to your imagination. Do a little bit of basic landscaping. Landscaping goes a long way. But anyway, I think that is going to do it for this episode, guys. So, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. By the way, if you use these tips to make your own little starter house, send me pictures on Twitter. I love seeing that stuff. It's super fun. It makes me happy. Anyway, though, other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.